All right, folks, it is 10 o'clock p.m. European time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But of course, you guys know what time it is. It is the Midnight Run UK. And once again, it's me. It's that VINCE. Hope you guys are doing well today. It's been kind of slow for me, so I just been chilling, really. Having a cup of Riesling right now. I got some light coffee brewing, which should be done in a few minutes. And of course, I got my water. So, to everybody that's in the room, tell me what you folks are drinking and smoking. Yes, Darren, you can still watch. This is also the Q&A of the channel as well on every Thursday. So that way everyone can ask whatever question you want, because a lot of times my other live streams, it's more or less reacting and going over videos. But, everybody wants to ask questions. Have I been good to my cousin? Yeah, I've been fairly well with him. Yep, I got water right here, Pugman. And I got coffee brewing. I'm only having one glass of Riesling. Just felt like something nice, cold, and refreshing. Not Colombian coffee. It's still the coffee I got from Cracker Barrel. I won't get it again. It's a decent coffee, but it's not great coffee, if you know what I mean. But yeah, a lot of things are going on there. Recently Phil Baroni got released. According to John Bravo, he paid like $300,000 to get released. So I don't know the deal about that, but I had already said previously in another video that, he would be able to get out if he paid the right people. Hey, Lamar, what's up? Hope you've been enjoying your vacation. Speaking of which, does football season start today?
Goldham Group International.
Vince Goldrum with a $500 donation. Yes, sir, indeed, we are international. Although, now that you brought that up, Google's requiring some of my affiliate sites to have GDR notices on it. Now, I've had GDR notices on my affiliate websites for 2 years, but Google wants their consent forms up there, so I don't know exactly what I'm going to do about that. We'll just have to actually see. I still got until January of next year that's required. It's just part of the European market to where they require that notice of consent that, hey, you're going to get advertisements. So, but again, thanks for the donation. You always take good care of me, that's for sure. But Lamar, I was wondering where you were been. You haven't been streaming in quite some time. Yeah, I just roasted some asparagus today there, Darren. So that's what I'm gonna have for dinner. Fresh brewed piss. Well, Julius, here's what happened. When I was dating my ex-husband, we weren't married at the time. Some of his friends didn't want a nigger dating his friend and everything, and I say the word because that's pretty much what they thought I was. So they actually went and contacted Billy Guns, of all people. You guys remember Billy Guns from RX Muscle? And tried to get some dirt on me and everything. And, of course, me and Billy was cool, so he went and told me about it. So Subsequently, I got yanked out of the closet. So that's pretty much what happened because Billy went and on Get Big also and posted it. But pretty much everyone already had an indication anyway, which I didn't really care. You see, I don't go and announce things or anything like that. I like keeping my cupboards closed, if you know what I mean. I'm sort of like that mind your own type business type thing, you know. You know how people are always spreading their shit and gossip online about, hey, I just had my period or something, or I'm gonna start an OnlyFans. I'm gonna show my wee wee and my tits. Me, I'm a classy person. I'm a gentleman. I don't believe in personal business being out there unless it's already out there without my consent, of course. But that's how I got yanked out. Well, that's exactly what they thought of me. I mean, I'm gonna be straight up with you, people. You know, they thought I was a fucking nigger. You know, they said a couple other things. His sister, oh gosh, she was even worse. Freaking crackhead. You know. I think she called me what was it, a dark-skinned mongrel. Now, mongrel's a very interesting word. You don't hear the word mongrel that often, you know. I actually had to laugh at that, but yeah. But the one, I mean, she didn't have any teeth anyway. They had all been out of her mouth due to taking meth and stuff. But anyway. Well, no, this is the Midnight Run UK, Tongue Daddy. The regular Midnight Run is still tomorrow at 8 o'clock p.m. Joel, because it's 10 p.m. in Europe. But you are right about this stream there, so. Thoughts on fat acceptance? You shouldn't accept fat, period, you know. I mean, you're free to live as a fat fuck, but there's no such thing as fat rights or anything, you know. I mean, there just isn't. Does my skin taste like chocolate? No, it tastes like skin. It also probably, whenever I'm working out, it also tastes salty as well. You nasty motherfucker. Yeah, Midnight Run. I forgot that you were in the UK. But yeah, we run it until 7 o'clock p.m. Part of the reason also is because, you know, the Midnight Run and Earl Grey Tuesday, I mean, it starts at 1 a.m. in the morning in the UK. We can't have that. I got a lot of European fans. I don't know so much about weaker and weaker Tongue Daddy, but he definitely needs to work on his diet a bit. Hang tight. I think my coffee's ready. And folks, just remember the key to good coffee is a stovetop maca pot. That's the key to good coffee, folks. Yeah, but, you know, people don't have to be homeless. Even if they have no money, there's shelters, there's work programs and stuff that people can sign up for. I have a freaky little tenant that asked me out on a date. I'm her landlord. It's never a good idea to date a tenant because more than likely she's not interested in you. she's interested in getting some free rent. So just jerk off and just avoid that person and tell her that her rent is due. But good question. Joel, your caloric intake is way too low if you're trying to put on muscle. I mean, I don't know how big you are, but that's some pretty low calories. That's extremely low calories. I mean, if you're losing weight, I guess that's perfectly fine, but but not in terms of building any muscle. I would literally die if I was on 1,600 calories. You're 220 pounds, and yes, that's definitely too low calories. You're not. We don't want to hear about that, Darren. Well, you need to be at least at 1,800 calories, and if you're doing that, and a lot less cardio, because remember, if you're 220 pounds, then your maintenance weight for caloric intake would be 2,200. You take that number, you multiply it by 10. And if you want to lose weight, you'll multiply that by 8 instead of 10. That's generally what I do. I mean, you'll definitely lose weight, but you're going to lose a lot of muscle with such a low caloric intake, Joel. I'll just tell you that right now. And the whole goal is to lose weight and maintain your muscle mass. Whenever I was competing, I mean, my caloric intake was 1,800, but I was only weighing 200 at the time, and I was getting down to my target weight, which was 180. I actually ended up at I actually over dieted and went to 173, in fact. Or excuse me, 177. EDP made a response video to getting exposed. Well, we're not really reviewing any videos, so we'll review it tomorrow there, Matthew. This is the Q&A of the channel, of the live streams. So all we do is Q&A on this live stream. Coffee's okay. It's like I said before, it's Cracker Barrel coffee. So it's not really good. You know, I don't even know what happened to those Joni tapes. They're probably on another computer, but I can't release those. So you can forget about the Joni tapes. Nah, I don't need to get that. I don't need to get into any legal quagmire. Yeah, I heard about Masterson getting 30 years. It doesn't surprise me one bit. I think the biggest issue was the fact that, those girls were under control of the Scientology. So I think they were trying to punish more or less the Church of Scientology rather than him in particular. It's definitely going to be appealed, but, he's not acted since 2018. It's been like 5 years, so his career is pretty much over with, if anything. Yeah, that was back about 10 years ago. That was long before I was ever even on the internet, or at least on YouTube. McCarthy's getting a little bit better. He pretty much has the same condition as Vegan Gains does. It's the only problem is that it affects different people. I mean, Richard has a controlled madness somewhat, and Ian doesn't, unfortunately. But he's actually getting a little better. Joel, you do that, you're going to lose a lot of muscle. What are you doing anyway? Cutting weight for an MMA show or something? But yeah, rape is a very serious crime, and I mean it wasn't just one rape. It's just that these women were practically sex slaves. In other words, just manipulated. That's really where the long sentence comes from. So I think he got off pretty easy, to be honest with you. But he's going to be an old man when he gets out. Who cares about him retiring? He didn't really do much of anything whenever he was competing. But best of luck for him in his next life. Hello, Remu. What's up? Richard and James. You mean Jasmine? You should never hope for someone getting divorced. You know what I mean? That's not good karma. Hopefully, Richard can get his troubles under control and they can, you know, cohabit each other once again. He plays as a striker for. Okay, well, that explains it. But he's still going to lose a lot of muscle going about that route. He needs to slow down the amount of fat loss. I mean, he needs to slow down on how much weight he loses. Because with that caloric intake, he's sure going to lose a lot of muscle. But let's see what else is in the news today. Woohoo! I'm not even checked out the news as of yet. Ex-world leader. Oh, this is that lady in Finland. That original Finland prime minister, she was up there, the one that was in a dance party and stuff like that. I have to say that was the coolest bitch I ever knew. I would have loved to have I mean, I hate to say this, but if I was going to party with the president or a prime minister, I would have hung out with her. She seemed to be pretty cool, but looks like she stepped away from, which is no surprise, really, according to this. She's going to be a strategic counselor. She's young and wants to have fun, which I can't blame her. She's already made it to the pinnacle of things, so hell. He may not have had any injuries, but he didn't really win anything. You know what I mean? He was just, I'm going to be honest with you, he was wasting his money on roids when he wasn't really winning anything. Yeah, his chest injury looked pretty bad. That's the whole thing. Some people just compete too long. I mean, Rod Ketchens, for example, I think he won like only one pro show. He competed way too long. Cedric McMillan definitely should not have ever tried to compete again. So that's the only thing I can say is that at least he knew when he was done. So that's good. I mean, Nick Trigili, at least he also made a good decision not to compete anymore, and stuff. So at least he turned pro, so you can at least say that. And Shelby Starnes, he's not competing anymore. He just wanted to get his pro card, but once he was done, he was done. I can honestly respect someone leaving, but he wasn't really winning anything, so no surprise. Yes, a lot of people are moving to South Carolina. They're moving to the South. They're tired of the liberal policies that's been in place. People want to get out of New York. They want to live in a place to where, law and order's done, Because I tell you what, when they beat a nigger around here, they really beat them. That's for sure. I'm just messing. I don't have any problems with cops or anything like that. Now, I did have a problem at a restaurant recently. They were kind of rude and everything. But the great one has got that taken care of. I've got that licked. We handle it. I handle matters the cosmopolitan way. But yeah, more people are going to be moving to the South simply because they're just sick and tired of, the high taxes, the high crime rate, and everything. They want a little bit of peace and quiet. And it's nice down here. I mean, probably around 9 o'clock, I'll go out tonight. I'll head to Sip or something, or I'll just walk around, sit wherever I want to go, nice weather and everything. So that's another thing. People want to get away from the cold, too. You would have hung out with Boris Yeltsin? Yeah, I heard he was a big drinker. I've not seen Vito's stomach hernia as of yet. Pugman, I'm from Asheville. I was born and raised. But I tell you what, the minute I turned 18 and got out of high school, I got the hell out of Asheville. I'm just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is. You do not wish to move to Asheville. Just avoid it. Now, my mama lives there, but my mama retired, And she lives way out in Westville, away from the street trash that's there. And believe me, even minute I moved out, I came back to Asheville after leaving for about 4 months, came back to Asheville, and then finally I got away. But I used to live downtown in Asheville. And it was nice at first, but then the trash started moving in, and now I don't even recognize the place. It's just a bunch of crowded stink, Liberalism gone wild, That's exactly what it is. Now the coffee's tasting a little better. It's always important to make sure you get your coffee to cool down. That's why I like Greenville. Greenville's nice and warm. Now sure, things, this is not the city that never sleeps. It goes to sleep, Last call is at 1 a.m., the town does indeed close, and stuff, but good, That's a good thing. And very low crime rate, too. Very low crime, unless you live out in the... I don't live out there, so I don't really worry about it. Yeah, Nick Trigili is never coming back to... he's never coming back to YouTube. Is he still with Old Geezer Labs or so? I haven't checked my Instagram in quite some time. Wonder why that's pulling up. That's very weird. I go into the search menu and some porn star actually shows up. Ew. So gross. Google needs to work on the algorithm to where if you punch something in, the name of porn stars don't end up coming up, Yeah, he has gone pretty quiet. I'm not sure what's going on with him. Yeah, there's no posting really about old school labs, but you have to remember old school labs wants to be on YouTube, and if he's not posting from YouTube, then he's not doing them any bit of good. Hey Charlie, what's up? Well, those pages have always been there. Those are just old videos. As far as I'm concerned, he's not jerking his pickle or anything lately. You know, I don't think he'll go back to that. To be honest with you, I think he was already embarrassed enough by doing it. Collie Muscle, on the other hand, he probably will. He'll jerk the pickle. He'll skin that smoke wagon. That's for sure. Nick Johnson, Rawlings, Wyoming. I know Nick Johnson. I watched his channel one time. He goes and tours places. But Wyoming is still a... Yeah, I've seen this one before. Wyoming is the prairie land. Some people want that type of lifestyle, Definitely no real crime out there. Of course, you can always find a ghetto anywhere, but hard to find in Wyoming. The good thing is you wouldn't look out of place if you had a cowboy hat on. I doubted he would ever do that again, Remu, so they may be old videos, probably. Hey, Andrew. And don't call me Collie Muscle's brother or I'll ban you. I'm just kidding. Actually, I like Nick. I mean, there's another Nick's channel where he tours the country. But I've seen Nick Johnson's channel. It's actually pretty good as well. I like YouTube channels where they're traveling the country and they see sights and stuff, That's one of my favorite things to check out. For me, it's very peaceful because I love driving around, and exploring the place. Which reminds me, I got to go get my passport, folks. Which is going to take 2 months, and then I'm going to enter Canada, actually. Visit a couple of friends. Not Vegan Gains, by the way, but just a couple of other ones that I'm gonna... I've been meaning to hang out with them and train with them. They're gonna help me get whooped in shape, basically. And believe me, it's gonna be very brutal, but I will be better for it, folks. I will be better. If I'm going to have any chance of getting back on stage, they're going to be the ones that's going to help me. Yeah, Collie is a clown. You see, the cool thing about Greyhound buses, and stuff like that going to Canada, for $167, I can be there in a day and a half in Canada, Toronto, Ontario. And that's a round trip, folks. Round trip from Spartanburg to Toronto is $167. Now, I could use a military discount and see how much that is, but I don't feel like finding my old cards and stuff like that. But this is exactly what I mean. This is also why I enjoy buses. I don't mind traveling because I get a chance to, see the States. There's stopovers where I can check out sites and stuff. I'm never in a rush to go in a plane. Plus, I absolutely hate planes, folks. The great one hates being on a plane. I'm like John Madden. I hate airplanes. Even if it's a long trip, I will take a bus any day. No, I was going to work out with, I've not really spoken to him in a while, but I told Don Allison and that I would travel up to Toronto one of these days. But I may actually visit Vegan Gains as well. You know, see my cousin, see how he's doing. Check out Doomies, because it is in Toronto after all. But I will be doing it when I go to Canada, folks. I will be doing a special live stream. Now, it won't be a react and review video because there's no way I can take two monitors with me. Unless I get one of those special laptops, but we'll see about that, you know. But I'll still have to continue my work. Well, Collie's just trying to get attention, Andrew. That's all he does. And you can't ask PJ anything because he's still in prison. I mean, I may talk to Louis Marco. I mean, I'm going to be in Toronto for a while, so, I mean, why not? I spent a very short time in the Army, but long enough to where I can get their military discount. But I'm not going to use it. I mean, round trip, like I said, is $167. And with my Amex card, I got plenty of points to get a decent hotel. So, Frank Tofano? No, I don't want to be around New York or anywhere close to it. I guess we would do a midnight run Canada, I suppose. But could you imagine, let's say I ran into my cousin and we did a live interview or ate at Doomie's or something. That would definitely be good mints, you know. I'll come up there with one of my Daniel Boone raccoon hats and everything. See if I get paint thrown on me. Yeah, PJ's been in there too long with, but... You know, what can you do, you know? Second offense, you know. But at least he's in minimum security, so he's not any max or anything like that. Danny Masterson, he's going to go to max. He's going to be in maximum security. He's not going to minimum. Well, Pugman, I've already been in New York. I hate New York. In fact, I did a video on New York at one time. Let me see if I still got it. I did a video on New York as far as to why I wouldn't go to New York. Hold on a minute. Yep, it's right here. It's an 18-minute video that I made as far as to why I don't want to go to New York, why I tell people not to move to New York. But I have it right here. I could probably play it today or tomorrow or so. You want me to play it? Why not? It is a couple of years old. Let's see here. This video is about 3 years old, actually. Whoops. There we go. What's going on, everybody? Vince Goodrum here. It is Saturday evening. I'm sitting at home just chilling. Got a little bit of espresso being made. I know I haven't been up here in a couple days, but, you know, I did film a latest episode on Muscle Sport TV. That should be out shortly. Swear to God, this guy needs to get his gap fixed. You know, you need to take some pliers and just push that gap in a little bit. With my good buddy Joe Piatara, so be sure to check it out. And also check out the sponsors, Titan Medical, as well as Hot Stuff Nutraceuticals or Nutritionals. It's gone by a couple of different last names, but the whole main point is just hot stuff. Just get it, okay? But in any event, the reason why I want to... This is at the time whenever I was doing sponsorships, because my channel was not monetized at the time, so we don't do that anymore. But you should try this video. And no, it's not about Big Lenny moving out in about 2 weeks. We're already aware of that. I'll catch that probably in a day or two because, I have to give that some great thought. But, a lot of people have been asking, saying, hey, Vince Goodrum, you are a very talented person. You should take those talents to New York. And you know what? They are wrong! Wrong! Which leads me to this episode because I keep getting asked so many times, Vince, you ought to move to New York. Vince, New York is awesome. New York is great. You would love it in New York. You would make it in New York. And all this other stuff. First off, of course I'd make it in New York. I can make it anywhere. I can make it in Japan. I can definitely make it in France. I actually took 2 years of French classes. Thank you very much. The thing about it is that there's no problem making it in New York City. Titan Medical is a good place to get gear, but if you can already get a prescription, it's still going to be a lot cheaper. The problem is I don't want to live there. So this episode is giving you an explanation as to why I would never live in New York City. And don't get me wrong, I don't have a actual problem with New York City as a whole. I got a lot of good friends from New York City. My boy Joe Beans. Most of you guys know him as Greg Valentino, Joe Pietaro, I got a lot of friends in New York there. I got no problems visiting New York. But as far as living there, no. And I'm about to name off the reasons why. So let's start with the most basic things, food. Me personally, I'm from the South. I like fresh fruits and vegetables. In New York City, you simply can't get that. They don't have grocery stores. They got bodegas, but that's not a grocery store. It's a high-priced convenience store that sells apples. That's what they consider fresh vegetables. Every single variety of apples. But Lord knows if you want some grapes or some other type of fruit, oranges or anything, good luck at that. There are grocery stores in New York, but, they're like Trader Joe's and there's like maybe 6 or 7 of them. So subsequently, you'll be waiting in line for like 2 hours. And then waiting another 2 hours just to get out, which leads me to another thing. In New York City, most people do not have cars. Therefore, you're going to be hauling all those groceries that you got from Trader Joe's or from that bodega all the way back home and probably up flights of stairs. That's no fun whatsoever. In comparison to me, I can go to a number of grocery stores. My favorite is Sam's Club, but I can also go to Walmart. I can go to Publix. I can go to Ingles. I can go to Bilo. There's plenty of grocery stores. It's an abundance. And I can get fresh fruits and vegetables. All the variety of vegetables that I wish to have. Fresh meats, Angus beef. And I can go to a Trader Joe's as well. Or I can go to a Whole Foods. Period. So I can actually get real food. And I don't have to wait so long in line or anything like that. There's no wait just to get into any of these grocery stores. I can go in at the busiest time of the year. I'll be able to get in. And then I go to the self-checkout and I'm out. I'm in and out just like that. Snap of the fingers. Can't do that in New York. I don't even go to grocery stores anymore. This is also before COVID, obviously. Nowadays, I just have everything delivered. So, in speaking about hauling your stuff back up, then let's talk about rent in New York City. A 2-bedroom apartment is like $2,000 or $3,000. It's very expensive, and there's no premium on it there. I don't want to spend $2,000 or $3,000 on a 2-bedroom apartment, and I'm being very conservative there. That's in the probably a cheap portion of town, being Brooklyn. Now, me, if I was going to be in New York City, I'd probably live in Astoria, to be honest with you there.
I wouldn't live in the Bronx. I would try to live a little bit outside of Manhattan, basically, or actually commute in from New Jersey. But if I want, but in terms of living in New York City,
Athens, if Pugman requests for playing a video, it's going to get played. Non-negotiable. So be quiet and listen to this gap-toothed monkey while he speaks.
rent comes at a very high premium. And in these apartments that are like $2,000 or $3,000, they actually have shared bathrooms and showers. Can you believe that? You're spending $2,000 to $3,000 and you still got to share a fucking shower with other residents here and bathrooms. Ew, ew, ew. In comparison to my humble abode, my Clayton East Eclipse 60, you guys can check back some of my old videos and check out my home tour. My mortgage is $561. My property is $220 as far as me paying for land. So that leaves me at a...
Folks, there's no more 531, by the way. Again, whenever you purchase a Clayton home, you have to still sign up with payments, but then, just knocked it out and that was it. So
around $719, basically. Property taxes are also a lot cheaper. I get a house in Long Island, for example. You're probably going to end up spending $30,000 in property taxes. Here in South Carolina, no. I think my property taxes are like $600 or $700. I mean, very reasonable. I mean, not really that much. I mean, I think it was like $600 or $700. I'm not for sure. But in terms of rent,
I have a Clayton Eclipse 60. It was the very last one that they sold. I bought it on closeout for $50,000. Excellent deal. I mean, this thing would have sold for like $80,000 if it was still, if I bought it otherwise. That's why it's not lost any value, because this was an $80,000 mobile home, but I bought it for $50,000. So it's like giving myself an extra $30,000.
New York is very expensive, for the cost per square foot. So, and like I said, even if I would live in Astoria, I would probably get a roommate. So yes, I can make it in New York City, by getting a roommate. It's very easy to get roommates because Lord knows everyone needs to chip in and share. And I would definitely go back to my minimalist lifestyle. But, one of the things about having roommates and everything is stuff, I have a Bowflex Max trainer. Couldn't have one there. I have paperwork. I have this office. Couldn't have that in New York City with the roommate. Have my own bedroom, living room and stuff. Couldn't have that in New York. And most importantly, I have 2 bathrooms, not one, and not a shared one. I got 2 bathrooms and 2 showers that I can actually use. One for my guest and one for myself if I wish, or I can use the showers. And plus, I have plenty of goddamn hot water. I got all the hot water I want because I have a high efficiency water pump. Plus, I don't have to worry about heating and cooling there. The power bill is so outrageous in New York City. I mean, my power bill is like $70 a month there. And believe me,
mine has gone up. It's now $120 actually. So, oh well, still cheap.
I use the hell out of heat and cooling there. In New York City, if I did the exact same thing, my electric bill would be like $600 here. It's just nuts. So that's shelter. Now, in terms of cost of living, as far as jobs are concerned, that's the only advantage I would actually have in New York City. In New York City, the job that I would do, similar to the one I do here in Greenville, South Carolina, I probably get paid about $150,000 a year. Now, that's awesome there. But most of that money would be eaten up there by rent costs and other simplistic fees there. Yes, I would have a decent living in New York City, but at the same time, I would still be bound to the subway. And even if I decided to get a car, it would spend most of its days in the garage anyway. Lord knows you don't want to drive around New York City. You'll be stuck all day. So quite frankly, I wouldn't be able to drive around in my
Yeah, Pug Man, it's expensive.
caddy. Wouldn't be able to drive around in my Benz or anything like that in New York City. I would be just walking all the time or catching cabs. And that leads me to the next point, catching a cab. You know, I guess some of you people may not have noticed, but I'm a Negro. And a black person trying to catch a taxi cab in New York City. And believe me, I had a number of taxi cabs pass me before one finally, I guess he felt sorry for me, decided to pick me up there. I guess he thought I was going to rob him there. You know, it didn't matter what I was wearing. It's hard for a black man to catch a cab in New York City. And not only that, you know, going around in New York City, you know, I did get patted down by some officer or so forth there, you know. Pat downs are very prevalent for African Americans in New York City. You know,
They've actually cut down on that type of stuff. So, like I said, this video was a very, you know, as far as me going there, it was a very long time ago. So a lot of things have changed in New York, but for the most part, it's still expensive. And yes, Pugman, those subways are dangerous. But I don't think I mentioned that. I forgot to mention that in this video, but hey, you can't think of everything, I guess.
you know, the thing about New York City, as much as it's quoted as being a liberal shithole, you know, they surely they give black people special treatment. You know, I get a nice little massage every time I go down there, and not in a very good way. Thank you very much. Keep your hands to yourself, you filthy animals. So, in terms of, you know, just quality of life is concerned, obviously I would have trouble catching a cab, so most of the time I'd be relegated to walking and getting patted down, getting a massage maybe every couple blocks. And then, of course, let's go about the subways. The subway schedules are so confusing. A lot of the subways shut down. The infrastructure is crumbling. You know, and it's just, it smells very badly down in those subways there. I mean, there's this bum everywhere. You know, you got people getting pushed onto the rails and everything. People are acting crazy. Now, one thing I like about New York is usually when you go down through the subways, they got some street musicians that can really kick some tunes there. So I actually like that there, you know. So, you know, I try to look at the positive things of any environment or location, but quite frankly, you know, I don't want to catch subways. I want to drive my cars around. Okay? That too much to ask or anything like that?
I'll address it, Athens, whenever. Well, actually, I can't because we're only reviewing this video by request, but we can do that tomorrow.
Like that? Really? And of course, you know, the last thing I really need to touch on as far as New York is concerned, it's just simply the smells there, you know? I mean, there are cockroaches swarming all over the place and rats. And, you know, whenever I came there, people said it was a lot cleaner compared to, you know, many years ago, which kind of scares me. Because I could only imagine just how fucking dirty that city was like 20 some years ago. But I mean, it has a long way to go, but you know, there's only so far that, you know, a city can be clean. Just saying. You know, to be honest with you guys, I appreciate you thinking that I actually have talent to be in New York, but you know, like I said, the little thing that I do here in the South may go off well, but I would be a very small fish in a very large city. New York is full of entertainment, you know, that is light years ahead of me. You know, the little talent that you have in a little small town won't cut you shit in New York City. So what if I ended up actually in New York City for whatever reason? The way I would survive is, like I said, I would either commute in from New Jersey, or I would live in a place called Astoria, get a couple of roommates, go to a minimalist lifestyle. You know, I would have
And folks, I like Astoria, just to let you know. So
to just put up with walking and getting on the subways. Yeah, I could make it in New York City. But, you know, there's a difference between making it and thriving. Okay? As far as New York City's entertainment is concerned, I'm in Greenville, South Carolina. Anything that can be done in New York City, I can do here. Okay? I mean, they have theaters here. They have the opera. They have art galleries. They have the Greenville Peace Center, where I can see plays and stuff like that. No different than New York City. I don't have to worry about pizza. Pizza is great around here. There's a lot of people that are from New York City that, decided to get rid of the high prices there. Wouldn't you know? So I can get authentic New York pizza here in Greenville, South Carolina. They even import the water and the flour and everything like that. So I can get authentic New York pizza. But quite frankly, I prefer good old Greenville, South Carolina pizza. Hunt's pizza. Pizza is just pizza, basically. You get what I'm saying? I think the pizza is a whole lot better down here in the South than in New York City. Because the difference is in South Carolina, nobody sniffs each other's asses about how great the pizza is in Greenville, South Carolina, or any other food. And, there's a lot of things that you can do down here in the South that you can't do in New York City. You can't go to Dollywood in New York City. You can't go and look at Dolly Parton's titties. I can go down to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. I'm thinking about getting a little bit of land there. I'm just a hop, skip, and a jump away. Can't do that shit in New York City. Heck, as far as a rodeo is concerned, there ain't no rodeos in New York City. I love going to a rodeo. Period. Rodeo is really good there, as far as a circus is concerned, New York is a fucking circus. It literally is. But, I would rather go see the Ringling Brothers, not the other brothers down in New York City that are acting crazy. You get what I mean? And like I said, I'm not trying to knock New York City. I'm just, for those that are from New York City, you guys know what I'm talking about. This information is for people who are thinking about moving to New York City. Don't go to New York City unless you have a good fucking reason. If you are truly talented and a talent agent says it, and they're going to support you and stuff like that, by all means, go to New York City if you have a legitimate job and reason there. Otherwise, don't go to New York City just to wonder whether you can make it or not. You'll get killed in New York City. Literally. I'm not saying that you're going to get shot or anything like that, but man, if you're from a small town, you go to New York City, you'll be surprised at how much stuff costs there, So that's something for you guys to think about. So, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to stay right here in Greenville, South Carolina. I love this place.
Shut the hell up, Athens, about money.
I'm from Asheville, North Carolina. Asheville has been ruined by a bunch of, for the most part, hippies. They've literally dragged that city down into the point to where, my studio apartment in Asheville was $250. Now it's like almost $3,000. The prices in Asheville are now beginning to skyrocket to almost being New York City prices there. I kid you not. That's another reason why I moved. Greenville, a 2-bedroom apartment is still $1,000 there, but it's not New York City, and you don't have to share a bathroom with anyone, and I was able to afford a nice home and property, I like freedom to move. I want to go where I need to go. I like driving cars around. I like, seeing sights. I like eating good food. I like having fresh vegetables. I like having a refrigerator. I don't want to eat out all the time there. You have to do that in New York City for the most part because the kitchens are so fucking small. They're like matchboxes. I like going to the gym. If I was in New York City, I'd probably work out in the streets here, do pull-ups on traffic lights and stuff. Now, I kid you not. Like I said, I've always thought about moving to New York City, and hanging out. I got friends in New York City. I can definitely hang out until I, get things established and everything. So I don't have any problems with making it in New York City. So I'm just saying there's a huge difference between being in New York City and being here in Greenville, South Carolina. And I'm just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is here, So guys, I know this video ran a little bit long, but I just want to get my point across as far as to, simply why I wouldn't want to move to New York City. So What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments below, and remember, like and subscribe to the Vince Goodrum channel. I'm out of here. I'm going to go and make me a little espresso and watch Toonami. Peace and soul.
All right, that's enough of this fucking coon. I certainly hope he fixes that goddamn gap tooth of his, you know. But, you know, that, a lot of things have actually changed. And once I made the video itself, there's a guy that has a really popular channel, Cash Jordan. He actually called me. He didn't actually call me out, but he actually showed me, you know, he has a channel that shows New York City apartments where if you got a roommate, it'd be like, you know, $700-800, you know. And a lot of things have changed from what I understand at New York City. You know, they've cleaned it up a little bit even more. Apartment fees are going down. And because of COVID, you know, you can now have your food delivered. It's a lot more expensive, but it doesn't really matter. You ain't got, you know, people kill to not have to deal with that fucking traffic or anything like that. So, you know, a lot of good things have actually changed in New York City. So, I mean, I'm going to end up going back there again when I travel up to Canada anyway, so there'll be a stopover anyway, so I'll check out New York again and see it. So, but yep, but my experience is, I will have to say my experience was very old. So folks, if you don't have any reason to be in New York City, don't be there. If you have a good job waiting there, by all means, more power to you, you know. But just remember, the city is, for the most part, expensive, and it's still a liberal place. So, yeah, Ringling Brothers are gone. You know, they're long gone. If you were to buy my house, it would be, or something similar to it, it would be $80,000. A house around here, a decent one, it starts in the mid 200,000. So it'd be $250,000 at least. But here's the good thing: you can find a lot of fixer-up homes that are like set around $70,000 to $80,000. Now you'll probably have to put a little over $100,000 in it, but you know, if you can deal with that neighborhood and stuff like that, well, they're not all in bad neighborhoods, but they are in medium type neighborhoods, then you're perfectly fine. The good thing about the South is there's a lot of fixer-up houses around, so you can definitely get a good deal. But your average suburban home, the ones that you see on TV, they're about in the mid 200s. So, of course, you can always do like I do and get yourself a mobile home. You know, that'll run about $70,000-80,000. You can get your own strip of property, or you can find a good park in order to move it to. So you got a lot more options. I definitely would not move to Hollywood, not even West Hollywood. I mean, Hollywood is a puddle of hepatitis. Literally, if I walk anywhere, you know, every 2 blocks on the sidewalk, I'd be stepping in a puddle of hepatitis. I would definitely not live with Tefano Pugman. I mean, him and his aluminum shielding type stuff, and him doing live streams from that stupid tent of his. Absolutely not. Ugh. I'll check it out, and don't forget the midnight run is going to be tomorrow from 8 to 12, where we'll actually review videos. So it's going to be good. Hey, Psycho, what's up? But yeah, get my passport, hop on a bus, and just travel. Probably leave at nighttime and just, like I said, it'll take a day and a half for me to get there. But again, I hate airplanes, folks. I hate them. Well, land can be relatively cheap. You can pay as little as $20,000 for land. So when it comes to land, you have to remember it's just dirt. So depending on where you live, you can get land for pretty cheap. There's plenty of land you can buy, and it's very inexpensive. You have to know where I have to live first, Athens, and yeah. Matt, I haven't seen those videos yet. Usually in the afternoon, I check my Instagram, and people always send me links to, what's going on. And then I check them out, and sometimes I'll play them on my 4-hour live streams, depending on, whether it's tasteful or not. It's all dependent. Yeah, that was a long time ago. It was not only a long time ago, but my time there was also a long time ago. So, from what I understand, like I said, they've cleaned it up. So, and of course, with delivery now, that definitely saves time on. Basically, you can have your food delivered. It probably takes a lot longer, but I like delivery. Do I watch sumo wrestling? If I'm over a friend's house who likes sumo wrestling, I'll watch it. I used to watch it more often whenever I was growing up because I would just simply keep the channel on ESPN and just watch. After I watched Flex with Sean Ray and them, I would just keep it on, and certain stuff would come on like sumo wrestling. So, but it's not something I regularly keep up with. Well, Richard actually won that debate against Leo, and I'm gonna make another video about that after this show. I just didn't have time, but Vegan Gains won that debate hands down. And the reason why he won was simply Leo is trying to play each side of the fence. He needs to accept the fact that the vegan movement, has to endorse the so-called death and suffering of animals. If he doesn't like it, that's his business. He needs to stop calling himself a vegan and just say that he doesn't eat any meat, But Dr. Leo Venus, he's made so much money off of the vegan market, and stuff like that. And if he thinks that eating meat is immoral, then he's not a vegan, They go hand in hand.
Thoughts on this car?
And Skodrum with a $10 donation. Let's check out the car. All right. 2020 Porsche Taycan. Not really a big fan of Porsche. Looks like a pretty decent car. Dolomite silver metallic. Dolomite. Well, I like the car a little bit better now since the color is Dolomite, A little inside joke. This must be electric or a hybrid or something. 68 city, 71 highway. This must be electric or something for that type of fuel efficiency. 10,000 miles. That's not a bad price for a Porsche for $86,000. I'm just not a big fan of Porsche. Don't get mad at me there, Pugman, on that. But it's just that I've been in one before. I just didn't like the feel of it. Not only that, I'm a pretty tall person, so I think the biggest thing is I felt a little cramped. But it's a pretty nice car. It's definitely holding its value, but that fuel efficiency, I don't know. Is this electric or a hybrid there, Pugman? Because it doesn't specifically say. I'm just curious. But I say it's an alright car overall. Am I a fan of Pickle from Baki? I love Baki. I love the characters, so yeah. I need to watch some of it there. So, but like I was saying, Richard won that debate against Leo. Leo didn't even have a chance because he's absolutely wrong about his argument. You see, I can make an argument that eating meat is immoral, but he can't because he considers himself a vegan. So you can't be a vegan and say that eating meat is not immoral. That the two are not compatible with each other. In fact, they got destroyed by Richard. So yeah, non-negotiable. I mean, it's like I said. It's what's the best way to describe it? It's like your best thing I can say is if you're a Trump supporter, but you support some policies of Biden, then you're not really a Trump supporter, you know? It's that simple. You can't straddle the fence on veganism whatsoever. And Dr. Leo is straddling it. It doesn't work. I think Blaha, 50% of his information is good advice for someone that's in powerlifting. He spent enough time doing powerlifting. The problem is he's fucking crazy, you know? He's a racist, you know, and you can't get past that, you know. Just because someone is a good powerlifter, which I'll say that he is above average in terms of powerlifting, Giraffe, he's still not a good person, you know. But good question. I don't really have too many problems with his advice that he gives. It's just that it's his personality and his attitude about things. Well, Dr. Mike, not so much. I think that was a draw. And that was also unexpected. But he definitely beat Dr. Leo. Easy. I don't know why. I don't even know why he even got into that debate with Richard. He was doomed from the start. Well, Chad, people have mistaken me for EDP. I mean, I kid you not. People have mistaken me for EDP, and they've tagged my channel a few times. But you know, I'm not EDP whatsoever. I mean, I'm a lot older than EDP. I'm also not as fat as he is, neither. So, but the biggest thing is I'm much older than EDP. A lot older. And that in itself should be a good indication. Well, Ben, it doesn't matter if he had a mental breakdown or not. I mean, Dr. Leo also locked up in his conversation as well. And not only that, Ben, we're pretty much used to Richard, you know, going off and everything. But Leo didn't have no chance whatsoever. It's electric? Okay. Yeah, that's what I was figuring, Pugman, that it's electric. I do like the color, silver metallic, and the word dolomite. Anything with dolomite in it, I'm a big fan of Dolomite movies. Rudy Ray Moore is my nigga. You know what I'm saying? That Rudy Ray Moore is my nigga. So, I gotta get down with some Golden Dolomite. I may even watch Disco Godfather tonight. Y'all ever seen Disco Godfather? It's a good movie. I don't like those cars neither. Chad, I can't really say which one is the strongest of the Baki villains. They all have equal measures. Well, Pugman, you can actually get one of those cars in the U.S. They're just not regularly sold at a dealership, but you can get any car in the U.S. You can get ones that are with, especially you can actually order cars, and they actually have them at the dealership with the steering wheels on the right hand side. And plenty of people buy that, and the reason why they buy it is because part of their side job is delivering mail. So those cars are pretty popular as well. But you can get a Puget. You can get one of those cars in the U.S. easy. For humankind, eating meat is a good thing as it brings us pleasure and it's an economic industry. I don't like the meat and dairy industry. It's getting a little overcrowded. I've said that a bunch of times. That's why I'm always endorsing lab-grown meat itself. But, eating meat is a necessity in my opinion because it's a complete protein source. Well, my whole thing about Leo is he's making money off vegans. He's calling himself a vegan, but it turns out if he's thinking that meat is not immoral, then he's not really a vegan. I'm 46, Chad. Sometimes I hate it when people say I'm 33 and a half. If they say they're like 33 and a half, that means that they're trying to make themselves older than they look. I used to do that too, honestly. Now I can proudly say I'm 46. And cool thing is I can also call people young man. I can put them down like, young man, listen here. Young man this, young man that. I love doing that shit. I awaited a day where I could just call someone and say, young man, listen here. The only people I can't say that to is obviously people that are older than me, and some people in their 60s, they call me young man. So, but now I get the opportunity to say, hey, listen here, young man. It's like a put down that, they can't recover from. Do I like the puff the loud? I don't know what you're talking about. If you're talking about smoking weed, no. Type in Evine looping. Let's see. Oh, there's a Wikipedia. Says she's famous. Emo looking. BDSM. Oh, okay. No wonder she looks emo. Imagine drug dealerships that. Well, of course, drug dealers always upsell. It's a business. You want some weed. You want a side of crack with it. You want some pills. You want some Quaaludes. Do you want something you could sniff, or do you want something you could snort? Chad, shut the fuck up about collabing with EDP, man. I ought to ban you for saying that. No, I wouldn't collab with someone like that. Yeah, I know he's older. I never said anything about Louis Marco's age, FN. I don't know how old he is anyway. He might be even Stevens with me, but I never discussed his age whatsoever, or even cared how old he was. We can watch it tomorrow, Chad. Like I said, this is the Q&A, so I don't want to mess that up. Of course, if Pugman makes a request for video, that's my dog. So, everybody else, well, sucks to be you, I guess. I'm just messing, folks. But yeah, we'll watch the videos tomorrow, as long as there ain't nothing nasty wasty or anything. Vince, what makes a person more productive, a shot of whiskey or a joint? Probably whiskey. I think for me, whenever I smoked the joint, it made me kind of sleepy. I was joking about that. That wasn't nice of me to say. How old is Blowho? He's in his. I think he's 39 or 40. He's around the same age as Lane Norton. Let's take a look. I'm sure his age is up there. There's a Blaha encyclopedia. I would say he's in his 40s, actually. I'm not for sure. He might be. He's probably as old as Lane is, and Lane is. I think he just recently got into his 40s. It really doesn't matter anyway. So, you could be 40, but he still acts like a 12-year-old. I think Gladiator came out in 2000, but if you're talking, I'm not familiar with the 92 movie Gladiator. I may be thinking of something else, like the Hurricane or something. Chances are I've probably seen it, but I don't remember it quick pump. So I couldn't tell you. Let me see if I recognize it from looking at it. No, I've not seen this movie. This is the one with Cuban Gooden Jr. But no, I've not seen this movie. Would it be funny if Chuck Basher got caught by the? Yeah, I think it would be funny. But I don't think I don't think he's dumb enough to do anything. Collie Muscle was older than I am, or at least this very if not older than me, probably the same age. Yeah, Collie Muscle is 48 actually. I knew he was older than me, but not by much. But yeah, he's 48. I do know. I already knew he was older than me. But again, he still acts like a 12-year-old. Up there with that stupid watermelon diet. I mean, who comes up with this type of stuff anyway? Watermelon of all things. Someone his age should actually act his age, to be honest with you. I have no clue why he acts like that. I'm sure that it's probably Chuck Kirkendile, because it's going to be in Wikipedia. But that's his real name, Chuck Kirkendall. Spouse, Helena Kirkendall. Children, Collie Muscle Kirkendall II. He literally named his child Collie Muscle Kirkendall. He made Muscle the middle name. Oh, Lord. That's a good one there. He named one of it. I hope he didn't name one of his kids actually Collie Muscle. Hopefully he named it Chuck Kirkendall II. Yeah, he's still with that person. It doesn't look like they've divorced or anything, but I don't see why they would anyway. Well, he's got 2 kids with her, FN. I don't know if he's truly on a watermelon only diet or not. I don't think he's real. I mean, if he is, it's. I mean, I don't. I can't keep up really with what Collie Muscle's doing so much, from the watermelon diet to his little car contest and stuff. Well, Kai Green was the one that fucked the grapefruit. He jerked off in a mirror, actually. It was disgusting. And then he did a couple of other videos. Most of them were just him jerking off, you know. I mean, just to let you know, I can give you the sound of it if you wish. Why don't we play the sound of Collie Muscle jerking off? What do you think, folks? Say it in the comments below. Do you want me to play just the audio of it? Because I can at least get away with that. Well, no, I better not do that because the the YouTube algorithm would pick it up. So never mind. You know, I was about to do something real stupid. We don't want to do that. We don't want our channel getting banned. Well, Chad, I would definitely get my channel banned if I did that. I like One Piece. It's a good show. I've just not watched all of the. I mean, whenever I was watching Toonami, I would definitely watch One Piece, but I'll be honest with you, I never got into it too much. But I thought Luffy was a cool motherfucker, you know, with the hat and the long arms stretching out or any, you know, and stuff. I'd hate to get in a fist fight with Luffy. He'd whoop my ass. He would rape me, literally. And I would just have to take it, you know. Yeah, Luffy would be long dicking me if we got into a fight. No, I can't do it, Chad. What'll happen is the Google algorithm will pick up the porn sound, and it'll think I'm actually playing porn, and it'll cut it off. Boy, I was really about to get myself a community strike, but, you know. Oh, by the way, Google is actually allowing a class, and if I take the class, I can actually get my warning removed off of my channel. By doing so, I would actually get more traffic, actually. So, that's going to happen in October, so I look forward to that. Well, that's good to hear. I mean, it's reflective. I can't really do anything about that. You know, when you wear glasses, yeah, things tend to reflect off of it, especially since I shine them up pretty good. Good thing is, I got my head shaved today, as well as got a good shave. So I just need to put on a. I got to do the eucalyptus mask after we get done. Nah, we're not going to chance it. I do have another idea that I'm working on that would allow me to actually play the video in full. But I'll let you guys know. It'd be somewhat like a membership type thing. But there would be a lot of things I would have to do on my website in order to have that happen. Can you sing us a song that demonstrates the audio? Kai Green was jerking off in the mirror, was jerking off in the mirror. He went to the left, went to the right, went to jerk it off all sight. Then he saw the thing, and he was about to come, and he come, splattered across the mirror. I don't know. That's about best you can get. Ben, my hair doesn't really grow. I would look like George Jefferson. It just grows from the side for the most part and in the back. My hair is pretty much done unless I take Rogaine, and I'm not going to do that. I was meant to be bald. I knew I was going to end up being bald. I like being bald. Bald is beautiful. I just deal with it, you know. Is it possible to make money blogging and YouTube AdSense ads? Yes, it is. It's very difficult to do. It's better just to actually sell products. You'll make a lot more money. That's what I'm converting my AdSense. That's what I'm converting my affiliate sites to, just to sell one product. Because it's better just to hit one product than to try to AdSense. Because Google doesn't really pay much for AdSense anymore. And it makes my websites look ugly. Stop asking, Chad. I mean, it's kind of fruity for you to ask me to play the audio for Kai Green. That was just a thought that ran in my head. I thought was good mints, but we're not going to play it. It was not only I would get banned, but it was honestly a fruity idea. Bad, Melvin. Bad. Bad. Matt, I have no idea who the Rio sisters are. I love Frank Sinatra. Give me Frank Sinatra any day. I listen to that man all the time. Frank Sinatra is the man, If I want to get relaxed and I'm having a little bit of cognac, I'm going to have a little jazz. I'm going to have a little Wayne Newton, Tony Bennett, and of course, Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, Rat Pack in the house. Yes, sir. How do you drive traffic for affiliate websites? Google Ads. And of course, you have to, writing articles. That way it picks up in the organic search. And building backlinks. There's plenty of channels on YouTube that will help you with traffic. But I mainly use Google and Facebook ads for my affiliate sites. And not only that, my affiliate sites are now AI controlled, so. I'm not going to be the expert at driving traffic because I pay for my traffic. The real money I make is from my e-commerce sites. It's probably because I've been running them for so long, so I tell you what, it's been a really slow day. Oh, they're profitable because I don't really spend any money with them. They have practically no overhead, FN. The cost to build an affiliate website is like $10 a year. You can build them for free. So they're going to always be profitable just for that purpose. They're just not going to make as much money as an e-commerce site. Plus, the benefit of an affiliate site is once someone purchases it, it's not like they can get a refund for it or anything. Speaking of which, I do need to run some ads, actually. What would it take for someone to pull off a QVC or cutlery corner style YouTube channel? I don't know. If I was going to do cutlery, I'd do something related like a cooking website. But I mean, honestly, you can go on Fiverr and you can have someone build a website for you. It'd probably run you about $100 or $200. I mean, if I was going to do a cooking website, I would just build it myself. I watched all of Naruto, Matt. That's one thing I can honestly say. I watched the vast majority of Naruto. And then I tried Boruto. I watched the first season of Boruto. I didn't quite get it. It was like they were just rehashing things that I had already seen in Naruto. But of course, Naruto's a good show. I'm actually glad he became Hokage. But, the thing about Boruto is that it's kind of sad because once he gets the goal, all he does is work all the time. It's just weird. Maybe in the next seasons, I'm not seeing him, he's probably not working as much. I was trying to talk you to a girl yesterday, and she straight up said, "I don't know you, bye." Well, she don't know you, Sometimes you get the elevator, sometimes you get the shaft, Ben. Looks like you got the window. Nothing wrong with Naruto. I'm a big fan of anime. Do I eat whole grains every day? Not every day, but I eat them a lot. I have steel cut oats. I always like waking up in the morning and having a bowl of oats, but I can't do it every day. Yeah, Boruto, unfortunately, is a horrible show. Nothing you can do about it. Yeah, it's just been quiet everywhere. There's nothing coming in. I've only had 2 orders today. So, what happens there, folks, whenever I don't have too many orders coming in, most of the time I'm working on my affiliate sites and I'm doing research and everything. Uh, but it's been real quiet today, so I guess I'll just have to take it as it is. Maybe I might get some tonight. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Berserk. I watched a few episodes. It's just not my thing. That's one thing there's very few animes that I like to rewatch. I will watch. There's only like two or three that I'll rewatch. I'll rewatch Outlaw Star. I'll rewatch definitely Cowboy Bebop. And any anime from the Dirty Pair, I will rewatch that any day. The Dirty Pair is one of my favorite animes, and I like watching the Japanese version. It's a lot more it's definitely more authentic in wording. So those are really the top three I would rewatch. I would rewatch a couple of episodes of Naruto, but I wouldn't rewatch the whole thing. Well, quick pump. Here's the thing. Most women don't really want to talk to men because they're not dressed right. They don't look right and they don't smell right. That's why you got to get your game up, you know. Most people approach women wearing stuff that Sean G wears, you know. Sean G thinks that he's cool with what he wears and that women are ogling all over him. If women are ogling over him, they must be some ugly bitches, you know, some nappy headed hoes. If someone's ogling over Sean G. You don't dress like Sean G. You dress like the great one, you know. If you look right, you smell right, your shoes are shine, your hair's properly done, you're gonna get as much. You're gonna get some. You're gonna get a lot of puss, non-negotiable. I don't care what Richard thinks, you know. At least one of his saving graces is that that like me, he likes anime. But I mean, that's my cousin, so I guess some of my traits do pick up on him. How much do I pay for hosting? Right now I'm paying 120 a year, and then I pay about 1250 for dedicated IPs. But normally I pay a year ahead, which I've not done as of yet. I need to do that next month. Oh yeah, I sell lentils. What I'm trying to get prepared for is I'm going to turn one of my Google systems into a one that has multiple ones. But I'm only going to do it on my least profitable website because I don't want to get my other sites banned. So I'm just going to try it out. Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to approach any woman and you're not dressed right, don't approach them at all if you ain't got the look down, you know. That's why Ric Flair was always getting a bunch of puss. Look how he looked, you know. I mean, no girl is gonna want to fuck you if you're wearing a football jersey with your hat turned around backwards like you're fucking Dennis the Menace, you know. Just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is, you know. I mean, and I'm dead serious with it, you know. That's one thing about kids these days and guys, they just don't dress right for some odd reason. I just don't get why they don't take better care of themselves. They really should. Hey Rashonda, what's up? I have a wide selection of vegan products and I price everything quite well. I mean, right now I have over 60,000 different groceries that I sell. Distributors finally doing a little bit better, but I guess as they mentioned, summertime is their busiest time. No, that's business. That's business. There's business casual, and then there's casual. Business casual is a polo, khaki pants, and regular, dress shoes. Casual can be the same thing except you're wearing sneakers or shorts, but still with the polo. Polo is going to be the best thing if you're wearing shorts. But there's three different dimensions. Now, one thing I will wear, and it's still considered casual, is a black T-shirt, khaki shorts, and white, all white sneakers. Now, that's a sort of preppy casual, and that always works, and it's very cheap to do. If I was in Full Metal, would you be? I would be Armstrong. That's who I would be if I was in Full Metal. Well, style and profiling is the only way you should go. I don't really smoke Cuban cigars. I smoke Dominican. You don't need no Lacoste polo. Don't go and buy one of those. You don't need that. You don't need that type of polo, KCB. Just go to Men's Warehouse, get yourself a Michael Strahan polo, and you're going to be all right. And you're not going to be spending all your life savings on a Lacoste. How do you motivate myself? I don't need motivation to dress. My mama always taught me about good appearances. As far as cleaning the house is concerned, I just turn on some music, and I need to get if I need to get it done, I just get it done. You knew the president? Which president, KCB? Well, a lot of the quality has gone down because these companies have been bought out by these vulture capitalists, and what they do is they just make a lot cheaper product. I mean, they're still they make a cheaper product, and then if you want good product, then you got to spend a whole lot more. So I think the whole thing is about spending a lot more for quality than you would have, you know, and them selling a cheaper quality just to get the name sales. If Richard keeps going the way he's going, he's not even going to make it to 40. Can I add a style and dressing playlist to my channel? I'm probably not going to be the best for that. You would probably want to go to the Gentleman's Gazette or Style OG or one of those other channels or Elegant Gentleman. I'm probably not going to be the person to have a style and dressing channel. Part of the reason is because their specialty is, that luxury wear that you're looking for. I have a general dress as far as business and business casual. I think they do a lot better job than I do. I mean, the first thing people need to learn about really is how to properly roll up sleeves. If they're wearing a long sleeve shirt, or at the very least, get a long sleeve collared shirt and then learn how to roll up your sleeves. If you can learn to do that, then you're miles ahead. Most people roll up their sleeves like shit. I've actually recently changed the way I rolled up my sleeves to Italian, and maybe I sound kind of boring saying that, but I actually like it better. But that's what I mean by keeping up with style. I don't keep up with style to that particular point. That's why you probably need to go to someone that specializes, and the only thing they do is dress That's why I say go to the Gentleman's Gazette if you want to learn about that. Well, Antonio, I think what's ruined it is everybody, because everybody in the Delray Misfits have gone into business for themselves. It's going to be very difficult for Lenny to get back a relationship with Brad. I don't see that happening. Alpha M is a very loud guy, but I like watching some of his content. Uh, some of the stuff he has is pretty stupid. And I mean, it's really stupid. Well, if I get a suit, I'm going to always have it tailored, KCB, at Men's Warehouse or another tailor. If you're going to buy a suit, always get it tailored. That's non negotiable. Because no matter what suit that you get, it's not going to always. You're going to still need to do nip and tucks with it. So if you do buy a suit, you're gonna you need to get it tailored. Even suit coats, sports coats, you need it tailored. And I was friends with Greg Doucette. I don't really speak with him that much anymore. He's just not the person that I knew. I mean, unfortunately. I don't blame Genova for the Delray Misfits, KCB. I definitely don't blame him. What happened to Jerry Ward? Essentially speaking, he died. He died of his death. I mean, I heard what his wife says, but I'm like, whatever. I don't really want to talk about Jerry Ward. I mean, we had some ugly beefs, and I just rather leave that in the past. But so I'm just gonna say he died of his death. He died of whatever killed him. You mean the well-known blue one, Quick Pump? I thought it was pretty cool. Professional bodybuilders should go back to wearing suits. Nowadays, all they come in is their jogging suits. Well, I don't want to talk bad about Jerry. I want to be very respectful. Even though he wasn't respectful towards me. Because, I mean, the only person left that's posting on his channel is wife. His wife never done anything to me, so anything that I say about Jerry Ward is only going to affect Jerry Ward's wife. She's not done anything to me, so it's best for me just to shut it out. If I curse too much, Ben, my monetization goes to limited. But I don't really care much about monetization on my live streams because they don't really do anything anyway. In fact, really nothing on YouTube really does anything anymore. Yes, he sure did. I mean, there will be no one else like Ronnie Coleman. There's no one that's really matched his top physique. I think, in my opinion, his best physique he ever brought was at the 2001 Arnold Classic, but no one's going to match that physique. At least that I've actually seen. Yeah, I keep track with Dave, and I've not spoken to Greg Valentino much. But he's not on Facebook anymore. He spends most of the time on Truth Social. Oh no, if I say motherfucker, they're not gonna block it. But if I curse a whole bunch, they just turn my monetization off. But we got 10 minutes left, so I better get in the Soul Pole. Yes, indeed, the Soul Pole. And I got with me the Troll Patrol. So let's do a Troll Pole while we at it. Oh, the people that comment? No, nothing happens to me. Nothing happens to my channel if people curse in it. But if you write a comment and it has a curse word, YouTube will give a warning. And if you still continue to hit the button, it's going to block it. We've already watched it like 2 or 3 times, but this is the Q&A live stream. So we may watch it tomorrow. Plus, we only got 10 minutes left. So, folks, we got 10 minutes left. Get your questions in. If you wish to put in a donation, show that you support the channel. I would appreciate that too. But again, we got 10 minutes left, folks. I'm going to start back drinking whey protein, FN, because again, it's going to be part of me dieting down. Plus, I can make a good pudding out of it. He didn't disappear off YouTube because of me. You know, a lot of people come and go from the internet. And Lindsay's just one of those folks. They have a minor association. You know, like Big Lenny's Mistress Goddess. I mean, we only heard for audio and everything like that, but we've not seen him before. All of the sluts that Genova was with, especially that trans woman he was with. I can't remember her name. I don't think I'll never be in a position to do a 24-hour live stream, but as I always say never. I mean, I've stayed up for over 24 hours, but that, you know, that's because I had to. Took a lot of coffee, but I was able to barely make it. Oh, he posted today about being in the gym, but he's under that conservatorship, so I don't think he'll ever... I don't see him ever being on YouTube again. But again, as I say before, never say never. But don't forget that John Bravo, he did a video with Genova. But remember, he got into a ton of trouble for doing that video. And I was a little bit irritated. I was a little irritated at the fact that John actually did that interview. I'm not doing a sleep stream. I think he got in trouble, number one, because he sold those coins, and also I think he got in trouble with the when he did that video with PJ, where he was pretty much dogging him out and everything. So that's what I think, but I think it has more to do with his uncle. His uncle took over his conservatorship, per se, and everybody started trolling his uncle, and then finally his uncle just said had enough and just pulled him. So I think it has more to do with people messing with his uncle. I need to put a star next to that. No, don't order 66 it. If there's any chance of Genova returning, don't mess with his uncle or anything. PJ is not in jail. He's in prison. Yes, he's still in prison. He's still got like 2.5 years. No, he's still got like how long has he been doing this sentence for? It's not been quite a year yet, actually. He's going to be in there for a few more years. Well, because Genova was not supposed to be doing any videos.
J Squad.
Took over because he could. But I mean, it was the trolls that caused it. They trolled his uncle and then he just really got hardcore. You know? PJ doesn't own Blackstone Labs. He's not owned Blackstone Labs in like 2 years. Yeah, PJ has not owned Blackstone Labs in like 2 or 3 years. It's owned by High-Tech Pharmaceuticals. High-Tech Pharmaceuticals owns Blackstone. but Blackstone was losing a lot of money ever since they got indicted for what they did. So I don't know the story about why it was sold. If I had to take a guess, hold on. If I had to take a guess, you have to understand that Blackstone Labs had all their products produced through high-tech pharmaceuticals. And chances are that PJ may not have been able to come up with the money, the cost of producing those supplements. So as a point of contention, he sold the company to them for pennies. That's the same thing that happened with ALR. Well, ALR was a little different. But if you go on high-tech pharmaceuticals websites and you see all those recognizable names from the past, that's usually the case to where high-tech bought out the name. All right, folks. It is 7 o'clock p.m. or midnight in the UK, and that is the end of the Midnight Run UK. I want to thank Vince Goldrum for donating. You always take good care of me. I want to thank everybody else for joining me, hanging out with me, asking questions or whatever, yakety, schmo, and everything. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, 8 o'clock p.m. is the bell time for the standard midnight run. 4 hours of mints, a lot of fun. So again, folks, I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks again. And as always, peace and